Once upon a time, in the royal court of a great kingdom, there was a highly intelligent minister. He was known for having a solution to every challenge, and the king depended heavily on his advice before making any major decisions. Naturally, this made many others in the court envious of him. One day, the king said to the minister, "You are a man of great wisdom, but your son appears to be quite the opposite. He seems completely lacking in sense." Taken aback, the minister respectfully asked, "Your Majesty, why do you say this? What has led you to think my son is foolish?" The king explained, "Every morning when I meet with the townspeople, your son is present. I test them with a simple question: which is more valuable, gold or silver? And each time, they choose silver." The courtiers burst into laughter. The minister felt humiliated, but chose not to argue. He returned home quietly and confronted his son. "My child," he asked, "which is more valuable, gold or silver?" The son immediately replied, "Gold, of course." "Then why do you tell the king silver is worth more?" The son calmly responded, "Father, each morning His Majesty offers me 2 coins, 1 gold and 1 silver. He asks me to pick the more valuable. I always choose the silver one, and he laughs and walks away." Confused, the minister pressed further, "But why would you do that, knowing gold is worth more?" Today, the entire court laughed at me. The son smiled and led his father to his room. He opened a small box filled with silver coins. "These," he said, "are the coins I've collected from the king. As long as I keep choosing silver, he continues the game and gives me a coin every day. The moment I pick gold and reveal I know the real answer, the game will end, and so will the daily coin." The minister stared at the box, astonished. His heart swelled with pride. Though others mocked his son, he now realized that the boy's silence and simplicity masked a quiet brilliance. From then on, whenever someone mocked his son, the minister would simply smile. Moral of the story: some people achieve little yet shout it from the rooftops. Others move mountains and say nothing at all. If you're certain in your path, don't worry about being misunderstood. Often those with the deepest wisdom are the ones the world misunderstands first. Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a dense forest, there lived an elegant white rabbit. This rabbit wasn't like any other. He wore a pocket watch, always carried a newspaper, and seemed to be in a perpetual hurry. One sunny afternoon, as the rabbit was hopping through the woods, he came across a group of animals sitting around. They were having a wonderful time, enjoying the warm sunshine and the company of their friends. The rabbit, however, didn't even acknowledge their presence. He just kept rushing past them without a word, muttering to himself, "I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. I'm late, I'm late." Perched atop a tree branch, observed the rabbit's peculiar behavior and couldn't help but ask, "Hey, little rabbit, why are you always in such a rush? Life isn't nearly as fast as you seem to think. Take a break, relax, and enjoy the beautiful day." The rabbit stopped his frantic pacing, looked up at the eagle, and said, "You wouldn't understand. You are just a bird who lives in the trees and doesn't have anything important to do. But I have places to be and things to accomplish. I'm not just any rabbit. You see, I'm the white rabbit from Wonderland. I'm very busy. I'm late, I'm late. I'm late, I'm late." And with that, he dashed off again. The eagle shook his head, chuckling to himself. What a strange little rabbit, he thought. A few moments later, the rabbit came across a tortoise who was slowly making his way across the forest floor. The rabbit, as usual, was in a hurry. "Excuse me," he said impatiently to the tortoise. "Could you move a bit faster? I'm late. I'm late. Okay, I'm late. I'm late. I'm late." The tortoise stopped, turned his head, and looked at the rabbit. "Little rabbit," he said, "why are you always in such a rush? You're already late. You've said that 3 times already. What's the importance of these things you're always running to?" Perhaps if you slow down, you'd realize that life isn't about being early, but about enjoying the journey. The rabbit looked at the wise old tortoise and realized that despite his small size, there was something truly special about him. For a moment, the rabbit forgot about his lateness. He sat down next to the tortoise and started to share stories and jokes until, of course, he remembered that he had to hurry up. "Thank you for the nice chat, Mr. Tortoise," he said, "but I really must be going. I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late." With that, he hopped away. As the sun began its slow descent, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple, the rabbit found himself near a babbling brook. On the far bank sat a wise old owl, his amber eyes gleaming in the fading light. The rabbit, once again, was in a terrible hurry. "Oh, Mr. Owl," he exclaimed, "could you please hurry up and let me cross? I'm late, I'm late, I'm late, I'm late. I'm late, I'm late." The owl blinked his large eyes slowly and said, "Little rabbit, why are you always in such a rush? What's the point of constantly being late? You'll never reach your destination if you keep being late." The rabbit sighed. It was no use explaining to these creatures. They simply wouldn't understand. So he turned and disappeared into the bushes, leaving the owl and the forest to their peace. All of a sudden, the rabbit found himself in a clearing, and in front of him stood a magnificent castle. Heart-pounding, he rushed toward it. Finally, he thought, "This must be the place I've been looking for. I wonder what time it is." He glanced at his pocket watch, which read 6 o'clock. Just then, the doors of the castle swung open and a royal voice boomed, "Come in, White Rabbit. We've been expecting you." Overwhelmed, the rabbit realized that he wasn't just any rabbit. He was the White Rabbit from Wonderland, and his life was about to become a lot more extraordinary. So, dear friends, remember, sometimes the most extraordinary adventures are hidden behind the most ordinary beginnings. Be like the rabbit and always look for Wonderland, because life is full of magical possibilities. And with that enchanting thought, our story comes to an end. Thank you for listening, and until next time, may your days be filled with wonder and your nights with dreams.